Seahawks, and thank you once again for joining us for another Student Live. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can feel free to drop them right down below. And if you could, go ahead and take a minute to share this stream with somebody in your social network who you feel could benefit from today's segment. And so today we are actually launching a brand new series and introducing you all to our Board of Trustees. So let's go ahead and meet today's special guest.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gloria Fernandez. Stephanie, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to reach out to our students today. My name, as I said, Gloria Fernandez. I am the chair of the Board of Trustees at Broward College, and I have been on the board now for 2 terms, about 8 years, and it's been just really a wonderful experience. Broward College is a great institution to be associated with. I'm really very proud to be part of it.
We are very proud to have you, Chair Fernandez. Thank you so much for taking time to do this with us today. Before we kick off, it's been a crazy year, so I just wanted to start by asking you, how is 2021 treating you?
Well, we have all had challenges, personally, professionally. I have to say I'm very fortunate. You know, we're all healthy. We're all working, and that's truly a blessing. I recognize it's not been the case for everyone. So I do feel like 2021 is the start of a better year. We're, I think, very fortunate to live in Florida, where we're open for business. People are able to work, conduct their lives, obviously taking common sense precautions. But I think we're very fortunate to live in this state. And we have a number of opportunities here, educational, work, and so forth. So I think 2021 is, my hope is it will be a better year for everyone, and I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I hope so too. And so, like I said, we're so excited that you're going to share a little bit about your journey with us today. So to kick us off, could you tell us about how you discovered your passion in life?
Well, I guess you can define passion in a lot of ways. I think that question is typically geared towards work, and it's certainly a passion of mine. I discovered commercial real estate, which is my career. It's something I truly enjoy. And again, Florida is a wonderful place to see development going on, communities being repurposed, upgraded, new communities being built. So it's been a very exciting place to practice my profession. But I have to say my passion has always been my family and my friends, my community. So that is all part of my passion.
That's awesome. I come from a very large Italian family, so I can totally share that sentiment, and we all live very close to each other in Broward County. So, yes.
You're very lucky.
Yes. So I totally agree with you. That is a fabulous passion to have in life. I know that, like I said, from your college experience, a lot of our students are always curious about things that stand out to people who have gone before them, and like favorite memories that you might have had from your own college journey.
I think what really stands out was my junior year in college. I had kind of an aha moment, the realization that I had to somehow marry my educational background, my degree, to a career, to a job opportunity. That realization, if you will, made me pivot a bit and start taking some business classes in addition to my major at the time, which was history, French, and Spanish. And so I added some business courses, and I ended up pursuing a master's of business administration. With that degree, that was what I needed to get kind of a foothold in the business world. Once I got there, then it was up to me and my work ethic and so forth. But it was that moment where I want to call it the practical moment. How am I going to use this education? Am I going to take, for example, a teaching path? Am I going to take a law school path? These are all things I was thinking of at the time. And I kind of chose a business path. So that was step A, the decision. Step B is, what do I need to do to get me there?
think a lot of our students probably have a similar experience, or they actually might go through that, I'm sure, very soon in their time at Broward College, because it's very common that students change their major. As you said, like they're trying to discover what does that marriage look like, or what does that fit look like. And I think it's really awesome because I'm sure, as you know, Broward subscribes to like the Pathways model. And I think that that helps them better understand that connection between the program that they're studying and eventually what careers it's setting them up for.
I think you stole the words right out of my mouth, Stephanie. I was going to mention the Pathways programs, and I think that's something that Broward College does very well. You come into the college and you have a path to get you to where you need to be. So you're not spending extra time, extra money and effort, maybe taking classes that are not really going to apply. So we do try to give students a very efficient path to get them to a better life. So I think that we do excel in that area.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I'm sure, like I said, you've had lots of experiences all throughout your professional career. I think a lot of our students, one of the things that we hear from them all the time is how much they benefit from mentorship or from somebody who really poured into them. Did you have someone like that in your life throughout like your professional journey or even through your college journey, someone who really inspired you?
I think throughout your career and your personal life, you have to seek out mentors. And I have tried to do that over the years. Mentors are very important. As a student, it's a wonderful opportunity to reach out to professionals in your field. And I'm just going to pick a profession just for the sake of discussion. Say you're thinking about becoming a dentist. Well, you should be speaking to a dentist to see what their normal day is like. You should understand the educational requirements, the financial requirements and time and so forth. And after you digest that information, it's either a yes or a no. Maybe you decide this is not for you. And in the meantime, you haven't wasted, 4 or 5 years of your life pursuing something that is not going to be your passion. So it is important to seek out professional mentors along the way, especially early on in your career, to get that type of feedback, to make sure you're on the right track. And once you are in your career, seek out mentors to advise you, how do I get to the next step? I have this problem, how should I solve it? On a personal level, it could be your grandmother, it could be a parent, it could be a number of people, or a neighbor. If you have a problem, and we all encounter problems in our lives, it's good to have somebody to go to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's always good to have people to lean on in that sense. So I totally agree. I'm curious to know, what led you to Broward College?
Well, because of my work, I was out at a number of business functions, and I happened to bump into a lot of executives, and at the time, President Armstrong, out at business events. So Broward College always had a very high profile in the business community. In addition to that, I've lived in Broward County since I was a child. So I've known about Broward College. It's been part of our community for many, many years. So that combination of reputation, good reputation, and visibility in the community led me to Broward College. I knew some of the board members at the time, and it was just a great fit for me. I'm a strong believer in education. This is my hometown. I want to make it better. So that led me to Broward College to serve on the board.
That's awesome. It's so nice to meet people, like I said, who are actually from South Florida. I love to joke around because I'm born and raised here, that nobody's ever from here. I know a lot of people flock to South Florida, but it's so nice to meet people who actually are also from South Florida.
Well, I'll be honest, Stephanie, I consider South Florida my home. I grew up in the Hollywood area, but I'm actually not from here. I, like many other Floridians, I'm from somewhere else. And like many of our students, I'm an immigrant to this country. I was born in Cuba, in Havana.
Oh.
My parents were very fortunate that we were able to leave. I had just turned 7 at the time. And we were able to leave and come to this country, and, very grateful for that.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know that. What an amazing story. I appreciate you sharing that with us. And I'm glad, like I said, that you, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's obviously a very common story here in South Florida. There's obviously a number of Cubans in this area, but there are people from all over the Caribbean, South America, Europe. I mean, you name the country, chances are we're here. And the U.S. is really a beacon of opportunity and freedom. And, you know, my family is just very fortunate that we were able to come here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's so awesome. I'm so glad, like I said, that you did, like I said, through business functions, find your way to BC. And you've been with us, like you said, you've been serving for 8 years. So I'm curious to know, is there something specific about Broward College's, our mission, our vision, our values that really sticks out to you?
Well, there's a number of values and mission. You know, there are a number of things I think that we excel at and I think resonate very strongly with me. One is affordability. The college and the board has really made it a point to keep tuition in line over the years. And it's very difficult because revenues have gone down in some cases, but expenses keep going up. And we all know this from our home bills. You know, our utility bills go up, but we have no control over that in many cases. You know, the cost of living goes up. So we've had to balance budgets and deal with that. But at the same time, we're very focused on the student and we're very cognizant that many of our students come to us and they have financial difficulties. So we've done everything we can to keep tuition in line. So affordability is a very important part of who we are. The other value I think that resonates is we want to offer degrees that are marketable. We want students to get their degree, be able to get a job that makes their life better. I mean, education, I believe, is really the way to a better standard of living, a better life. And it's our mission to give people who want to succeed that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure there are so many students I can imagine. I mean, I know in our line of work in student life that we get to interact with who absolutely share that it's because of Broward College's affordability that they absolutely, like I said, it was no question as to where they were going. So I know for a fact that that absolutely resonates with our student population, as does, like I said, your second point about making sure, I mean, what's the intent behind education? Are we setting our students up for success and getting them ready for the next step, which is ultimately landing a job, and not just landing a job, but we hope placing them in the career that they intended to be at. So
right.
Awesome.
My father used to joke, and it was more of a joke. It was a message to me and my brother. You know, they came here really with nothing, and they were older. My mother at the time was in her 40s. My dad was in his 50s. Not an age where people typically pick up, leave everything, and start over again. So it was very hard financially for us growing up. And my father used to say that poverty is a temporary economic condition. So his message to us was, you can work your way out of this. You have to study. Education is very important. And if you have an education, that's your ticket to a better life. And I think that's the message that we try to give our students by giving them opportunities, by giving them careers.
Absolutely. And so it sounds like your dad gave you some really good advice about moving forward. So do you have any advice specifically for our students regarding, like, either based on your professional experiences or related maybe to what your dad taught you?
Well, I mean, work ethic is kind of your baseline. You have to work hard, you know, to get the good grades, to get through your degree. You have to work hard once you have a profession. There's no getting around that. That's a baseline. But beyond that, we talked about seeking out mentors to help you kind of navigate, you know, through life. It's also very important, I think, reputation. Do the right thing. I can't tell you how many times I bump into people that I've worked with 10, 15 years ago. And I've always been on good terms with people. I've never left a place without the door being open for me to go back. That's important. Your personal reputation, it takes a long time to build. you can lose it very quickly by taking the wrong action, doing the wrong things. So, you know, reputation is important. Make sure you pay attention to it. Make sure you do things that are the right things.
I completely agree. I think that's excellent advice for our students. And integrity is actually one of the 6 core values of the college. And so I think that since that's something that BC wants to embody, it's something our students should as well. So I think that's great advice.
That's a good point. Yes, that's a good point. And actually, my dealings with the college, there's always been a high level of professionalism, of integrity. And as a board member, that makes me feel very comfortable.
Of course, absolutely. I cannot thank you enough, Chair Fernandez, for spending some time with us and letting our students get to know you. Thank you so much.
Stephanie, thank you. And thank you again for the opportunity. I look forward to seeing some of our students in person again. It's what I've always enjoyed the most, actually, and going to the campuses and meeting everyone. So, but in the meantime, this is a great option. And I just want to thank you again for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And as always, thank you, Seahawks, for tuning in. As always, feel free. You can look at the link in the description below to take a survey and give us your feedback about today's program. And of course, we hope to see you all again soon. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.